I want to get right to this with my next guest, former acting ICE Director Ron Vitiello. Ron, let's just start with these flights that are now the Biden administration pushing back on. I should note Ron DeSantis, governor of Florida, also said there were 70 secret flights last summer just into Jacksonville alone. We're not supposed to believe our lying eyes, I guess, on these, huh?
Yeah, don't believe the facts or what you see with your own eyes. Very well put. So we've been talking about these flights since the spring. And if it is, in fact, unaccompanied minors who are being sent to shelters or to sponsors or family in the United States, why can't the administration just publish the manifests to the states that they're going to or to those airports, right? Those flights don't take off whenever they want. They don't land whenever they want. That's all very regimented. Those contractors that are employed by ICE to bring those people to those destinations have to file flight plans. They have to get permission to take off and land at airports. Why can't they just put that out so that the governors, members of the House can see where these flights are going and what the volume is? Why are they not doing that? Even though we've all been talking about it since at least the spring, and all they've got to do is be a little bit more transparent so they can stop having this conversation about what might or might not be secret flights, but they could just tell everybody what's going on. The reason they don't want to talk about it, but they have to expose the volume of activity that's going on the border that's been created by the lack of coherent policy at the beginning of this administration.
You know, a paper from just recently from Heritage brings up a point, because as I'm watching these videos, and the one thing that always stands out is these young, strapping young men, look like they may be in their 20s, that are the type of people you need to rebuild your nation, wherever you're coming from. And they're saying that the Biden administration, by failing to detain or remove single adult males, the administration is removing the last disincentive to illegal immigration. Do you agree with that statement?
It's all about incentives and disincentives, and it's absolutely right. If people come to the border and are released en masse all over the United States, they're going to send home for more of their friends, more of their relatives, and it's going to encourage more people to come. So if you look at what's going on the policy side, if you look at what's going on operationally, in which the Border Patrol and CBP are distracted by the care and comfort mission and the processing, which lets a lot of people come to the border and get away. They're not even counted by the Border Patrol. Many of the ones that are being encountered are being released. And so you're encouraging people from all over the globe to come to the border now. On top of that, the rhetoric around immigration enforcement inside of the United States is all backwards, too, because the secretary himself said that they're not going to go after people in the country just because they're here illegally. Well, that's an incentive. If you make it to a place like New York City or Chicago, you know that no one's looking for you.
So we saw this video. I suspect everyone's seen this video with the border agents and leadership, and obviously there's a tremendous amount of tension there. What's going on?
Well, they recognize that the policies that were in place before this administration have been removed. They watched in real time the border implode, literally. They have record numbers of activity when, in fact, the beginning of January last year, we had record lows of activity at the southwest border because the policies that were in place disincentivized people from coming in large numbers. And those agents are frustrated because that traffic that comes to them, the people that they have to process, they can't walk away from that. They're stuck. That lays at their feet until it's taken care of.
Ron, speaking of frustration, we just heard Jackie mention this report that's due on the so-called horse incident. Listen, I got to tell you, when the President of the United States accuses an agency like the Border Patrol Agency of actually strapping, to borrow his words, that's a serious, serious charge. How important is it for the White House to come out with this report and clear the air on this?
Yeah, they need to get the facts out, because I think the facts are going to support what the agents did. The reporter who took that still photograph said that no one was injured. It was not an assault. But yet you had the top three in the chain of command running down the Border Patrol and say that they were going to pay, that they were going to have consequences. So that's bad enough, right? Those three people that made those statements, they're all lawyers. They're law school graduates. If you wear the uniform of this country, you still have the right to due process. And frankly, the rhetoric that went out around that incident was not due process. No. They were condemned at the beginning, and that's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, as an American, we would hate to even believe something like that was true. So they need to clear the air for sure. Ron, thank you very much. Always appreciate it.